Game Back Podcast, back to Game Back, and Game Back Podcast, Game Back Podcast. This is the Game Back Podcast. It's just me, PJ, and Katie. Once again, we're
Yeah.
doing our wrestling. What did we do last time? I'm completely forgetting.
We did our WrestleMania predictions, which
Oh,
I
that's
was
right.
like 99% correct on
Yeah,
all of them.
and I think I
I
was
was
like
watching it and I
99%
was like, called it.
wrong.
So,
I was very wrong most of the time, and you were very right. So that has
yeah.
something to say there. And I watch more than you too, so I don't know.
Eat
But
shit.
all right,
Why are you munching? Why
I'm
are
really
you
hungry.
munching?
This is not a professional environment, okay? I can do whatever I want in my
I
show.
just finished my strawberries.
I mean, buffalo pretzel crisps. But
I always
right now,
think the word crisps is really funny because you can't not do the little ps at the end, you know?
crisps.
Crisps.
Right now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna rank every single Triple H, because since Triple H has taken over WWE, it's been almost a year. It'll be July 26th will be a year. It's the 19th right now. I know that because, oh no, I'm sorry, the 24th. The 24th is when he took over. The 25th was the first Raw after Triple H became like the boss or whatever his position is. After Vince McMahon was fired, Triple H took over. I know because I was there. I was at the first ever Triple H Raw. Suck it, everybody else. It was pretty cool. So that's why I remember it so fondly, because it was like the change happened right as it was around my birthday. So I got the tickets for my birthday, like
And
for everybody.
Triple H's birthday.
And Triple H,
Y'all
yeah,
have the
me and
same
Triple H
birthday.
have the same birthday. Fun fact.
And the same name.
And the same name. We're both Paul. There's a lot of things in common here. Isn't that funny?
You both got big old noses.
Okay.
And beards.
Anyway.
I'm pointing out how similar you two are. You're basically the same person.
I just got to become a bodybuilder next. But I do feel like a good connection to the Triple H WWE stuff just because it happened so close to like, but there's so many similarities, so many coincidences that it's a little special to me. I've been a WWE fan. It's also right when he took over was right the mark of me being a fan for a year because I got into WWE SummerSlam 2021. Triple H's first pay per view is SummerSlam 2022. So 1 year of me watching WWE and then Triple H takes over. So it's a pretty good. So half of my experience with WWE has been Vince McMahon, the other half has been Triple H. Like looking back, and obviously, there's been an insane increase of quality in everything since Triple H took over, which I don't think is deniable. What we're going to do today is rank every single Triple H regime pay per view from the beginning
Regime.
to the end. And I've seen all of them. I think Katie, looking at these. I think you've only missed two.
Which ones have I missed?
I don't think you've seen
Because
Extreme Rules.
I don't recognize most of these.
We'll,
But
we'll
then
go
again,
down
it's
this.
just really small. So maybe
SummerSlam.
I'm just blind.
I think SummerSlam. I think I watched with you the Roman versus Brock match, and that was it. Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe it was someone else.
Clash at the Castle, I remember.
Yeah. Clash at the Castle was the first one you watched, right?
I think. That's when we were in the like theater room thing,
Yeah,
right?
Hayden's apartment. Yeah. Extreme Rules, I watched with Adam. I don't think you saw that one.
No.
You saw Roman versus Logan for sure. I know because we watched that together. And we both definitely saw War Games together.
Yeah.
We saw the Rumble together. We went to Elimination Chamber. That's gonna be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have fun talking about that one. You missed a good portion of Night 1 WrestleMania, I believe.
No, we were well, I mean, what did I miss?
You missed Seth. Oh no, we stopped in Seth match.
No,
You missed.
because you paused it.
Yeah.
And
You
then
missed
we
John
did.
Cena's match. You missed Bailey's match, and you saw everything after it.
Yeah, which I mean.
And we fast forwarded through Becky Lynch's.
I'm pretty sure I called it, right?
Yeah, you did.
So I
Mania
mean,
Night 2
I
we
didn't
saw.
even have to be there to know what happened.
Mania Night 2 we saw together. Backlash we saw together because I freaked the hell out.
What was Backlash? Oh wait, yeah.
Night of Champions.
That was the one where his head was busted open, yeah?
Brock, yeah.
I showed Flavia that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, the thing is, I was gonna organize these tiers into like, because usually how I do tiers is like bad, average, good, awesome. But the thing is, looking at all of these, there's nothing bad. There's actually nothing bad, which is insane. Because I remember when I first got into WWE, something that like for my first year from like 2022 or 21 to 2022, I was watching a lot of old things. I was playing catch up a lot, and I was
Yeah.
skipping a lot of new things. But then after Triple H took over, everything became a must see. Every single pay per view had even this stupid SummerSlam, which was like bound to be a dud, was awesome. This SummerSlam was like everyone was like, "Oh, it's gonna be terrible.
Why
It's gonna
was
be
it
terrible."
bound to be a dud?
We'll start from the beginning. Here's where we start them, because this was the rematch nobody wanted. Because Randy Orton was supposed to fight Roman at SummerSlam, he got injured, so they pressed the Brock button, and they were gonna do Brock versus Roman round 1,000,000 at SummerSlam.
Not the Brock
After
one.
oh yeah, we watched the 2021 WrestleMania, didn't we? We watched one of those nights together. But the Roman versus
Um,
Brock match from WrestleMania 38 was really bad. No one wanted to see it again. And for some reason, under Vince McMahon's, ownership or whatever, he was going to give it to us for SummerSlam, just out of like sheer, we don't have nothing else to do. And Triple H takes over right before SummerSlam. And Brock and Roman put on this awesome last man standing match where Brock like tips the fucking ring over and Roman goes tumbling out with the track. It's awesome. The whole show is really good. What
our match.
Yeah. So that's why it's kind of bound for disaster, but ended up being really good. But before we get into the rankings, I'm gonna say I'm biased. This is not unbiased. This is completely 100% biased.
Well, I mean, tier lists in general are just opinions.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to even be remotely like factual. This is
Unbiased.
this is yeah, and
This is a pure opinion piece
I'm gonna
right
have
now.
I have one hot take. I think I have one hot take for every single thing I say here. But I'm gonna try to for every single one of these remember the matches and remember which ones were good and which ones were bad and whatever.
I don't
So
think I remember much, but I do
I'll
remember WrestleMania and Elimination Chamber.
yeah. All right. So SummerSlam, the Brock vs Roman one was an awesome, pleasant surprise. SummerSlam was like so good because it was Triple H's first outing, and it was like had everyone had big expectations, and it filled everything. Because to start, we had what the first match I remember very clearly because I was like blown away by it. It was Becky Lynch versus what's her face Bianca.
Bianca?
Yeah, and Bianca won because of the SummerSlam before that. Uh, Bianca lost to Becky in like 2 seconds. It was terrible. So she got the rematch and she won, which was cool. And then Bayley's group debut, Damage Control showed up. That was awesome. I forget the exact order, but then you had the Mysterios versus Judgment Day, and then Edge returns, which was a great match because that just you have Judgment Day involved, the Mysterios involved, Edge involved. You can't go wrong. That's just a great lineup. This is for that you have success right there. You have the Miz versus Logan Paul, which is where everyone realized, wait a minute, this Logan Paul guy has something. Is where everyone like clicked, like, wait a goddamn second, he's actually pretty good. And then you have Usos versus Street Profits round two, which I did not think live up to round one. I think their round one was better. And they had what's his face, Jeff Jarrett as a guest referee, who I expected one guitar shot, but he did nothing. Like usually when you have a guest referee, the guest referee gets involved or does something special. Like when they had Daniel Cormier for Extreme Rules, which we get to, he was like, he was in the fight pit match. That's but you need the MMA guy there to do the MMA match. But they had Jeff Jarrett there for basically no reason, which kind of soured it. I expected him to whip out a guitar and smash somebody. He didn't do any of that. He just regular referee stuff. And then you ended off with Brock versus Roman, which ended up being really good to everyone's surprise. So for me, as Triple H's first thing, I'd put it as A.
You think?
I think
You
so.
were kinda talking shit about it.
I wasn't talking shit about it. No, I was
I
the
don't know.
lead up was terrible. But Triple H
Uh,
literally, because this was July 30th, I think, and he took over a week before. So Triple H, within a week, saved an entire pay per view. That alone, we got a
okay.
big one next. We got a massive one next.
If I'm remembering correctly, this is the one where
Hmm.
Sheamus got,
Beat
um
the fuck in.
yeah, yeah, by Gunther? Okay.
We're Sheamus and Gunther dropped a
I mean,
five-star classic out of
yeah.
completely nowhere. Totally stole the show. I don't remember much. I don't remember too much from this show. Actually, I take it back.
I remember that. I don't remember much though.
I think this was one of those shows where there weren't that many matches. Like the Elimination
Did
Chamber had
Seth
what?
do something?
I don't
Who
know if
was
Seth.
fighting?
Well, the three matches I remember are Roman versus Drew, Gunther versus Sheamus, and then Judgment Day versus Edge and Ray. Because that's where Dominic turned, right?
That was that one? Okay, okay, okay.
Yes.
I do remember
And we
that.
and
I
we
don't
got
remember the Drew one.
Drew versus Roman was the main event.
I don't remember
The
that.
one where Solo came out and screwed over Drew, and then the ending was him singing a song with Tyson Fury, which kind of made no sense. Maybe you left early for something. Maybe you didn't. Oh yeah, you did leave early. I think you
What
left.
did I leave for?
I don't remember because I remember by the end it was just me because you left early, and then Lily left, and then it was just me and Hayden watching the main event. So you probably don't remember because of that.
Yeah.
But sorry, I'm eating again.
Crunch.
hmm I think those three matches are really memorable. I don't remember much else. I think it was one of those shows where like you just did not have many matches. Like Elimination Chamber had what 4 or 5 matches. You know, like
Mm,
somebody like WrestleMania has like fucking 10 matches each night. And some of these shows they just have like 4 or 5 really long matches. So I think that's what this was. I don't really remember the other two, which I feel bad for. But the Finn or the Judgment Day versus Edge and Ray was really cool because we had Dominic turning and we got that awesome GIF of the Judgment Day laughing. I really like that GIF. Obviously the Sheamus versus Gunther match. I think about it from time
I
to
mean,
time.
that match carries, I
That
feel
match
like.
carried so hard.
That match
That
carries.
because they like the build to that match. I remember the build was nothing. Like the match was announced, and those two hadn't even interacted on a show before. I don't even know, and they just
And
went
then
out
they
there
just
and
beat
beat the
the
fuck out of each other.
shit out of each other. I almost
Yeah,
said snuff. I was gonna say shit and then snuff. I like decided halfway through saying shit that I was gonna say snuff, so it ended up being me stuttering through the word shit, but oh well.
yeah. Anyone who does not like wrestling, you show them that match, and they'll be like, what the?" Because like they literally just beat each other raw. It's not they go
Yeah.
full contact. They're not faking anything. It's probably not even scripted. They're probably told go out there and beat the fuck out of each other, and it was
They go, "You're
awesome.
2 big guys. Just go
Yeah.
slap around some big guys." We know how Sheamus gets when he gets smacked, he turns bright red. Why? Because he's incredibly pale.
He becomes the color of his hair.
Yeah. So, you got big man Gunther over here, big man Walt, and he's just gonna make this man bleed. Like, he
Yeah,
he was bleeding on his chest,
he
but you
was.
honestly couldn't tell because his chest was so red already.
Even his back, because he like there was a
Yeah, he kept
single
getting
card
slapped around.
that just was not beat that like it was and like the aftermath when you go to social media and they're like oh the Sheamus's aftermath he was just like covered in welts like someone just
Yeah.
it was just like disgusting almost that match was the best match it completely stole the show from Roman and Drew which they also had a great match and I see in the a lot of things with Triple H is like in the moment you question why, but you go okay there was a long term plan. There's a longer plan because I remember when this happened. I was like, why did Drew lose? Drew lost in his hometown. Oh, because for context, Clash of the Castle was in the UK. Drew McIntyre's from what? He's Scottish, and this was the first UK pay per view in like a decade or something. It was a big deal. Drew was totally set up to win. He was white hot babyface. He was in the hometown, and he still lost. I was like, "What? Really?" And then, but then, obviously, we know now the bloodline stuff just totally carried the like throughout all these other pay per views. So we'll get into that later. I'm tempted to put this in S, but
You think? I feel
I
like
can't
the
remember the other
only
matches, so I can't. I have to put it in
yeah,
S.
I feel like if the other matches were so forgettable
Like
that there's only one that stands out, then it's gotta be like B or below.
in the
If
recesses,
there's only one standout match, then like
yeah. No, I'd say there's
it
three.
can't be
I think
top
those
tier, you
three
know?
were really good. I'm in the
Yeah, but I didn't see that
recesses.
one, and I don't really remember the other one too great.
Yeah,
I remember it happened.
I'd say A, just because the Sheamus and Gunther match carries so hard. I would put it above SummerSlam though, if I'm being honest. I think that's a fair placement.
Sure.
Well, at the end, we'll reorder things too.
Okay.
You didn't see Extreme Rules, but
No.
Extreme Rules was pretty damn awesome. Um, I'll keep this one short so you can see it, so you don't have much input. But
Huh?
sorry,
You're chewing
I'll
on
keep
these on your snacks, man. I
I'll
can't
keep
hear
this
you.
one short. You didn't see it, so you don't have much input.
Okay. Gotcha.
Um, the three things I remember: Ronda Rousey killing Liv Morgan, Seth Rollins and Riddle had an awesome fight pit match. Um, Edge and Finn Balor had probably Edge's best match since his return, which was the I Quit match, where Finn dragged Edge's old fucking corpse throughout the entire arena and beat the fuck out of him. And Edge, it was great because Edge just would not say I quit. And then you
Then they
get,
brought out Beth.
then they brought
I
up
think
Beth.
I did watch this. I think we
I,
watched it the weekend after.
I probably did.
I think you went home for the
Yeah,
weekend,
yeah,
and then like we watched it because these all sound familiar.
yeah. Probably did watch it then. I thought that match was awesome. And then you have the hyped up Bray Wyatt return,
And
which in the
it was the glow in the dark one, right? I
no no no
liked
no
that.
no 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 the glow in the dark match was Royal Rumble. This was his return.
Oh.
Um. Well, yeah. So the return was awesome, but like everything after the return for Bray Wyatt was so inconsistent and weird, and now he's vanished from TV. So who the hell knows what's up with him? By the way, actually, I'll get into this later. I have more input on Bray Wyatt, but I'll get into that when we get to the Royal Rumble. But that was one of my takeaways from Extreme Rules. And the good thing about this was, by the way, last Extreme Rules before this was every single match had normal rules, which is you have a pay-per-view called Extreme Rules with not a single stipulation match. Every single match this night had a stipulation to it, which was cool. I'm tempted to put it in A also. So we'll rough this out. You know what? Screw it. You go B. You go B.
I was gonna say you're
You go
putting too many things in A too
You go A.
quickly.
You're right. You're right.
That's why I called your judgment into question on those two.
And my tier list, this will be completely scrambled by the time we get to the end.
You're gonna go, I like wrestling. Everything is A and S tier. Yeah.
No, the thing is though, it's so hard because all these are so good. Again, you
Yeah, but you
remember?
gotta do it
Well, actually,
comparative.
here we go. This is an easy option. This goes fucking C. This is big C right here. Only thing I remember
I don't
is
even
Roman
remember
versus
that.
Logan. Only thing I remember is Roman versus Logan. I couldn't tell you what's on the rest of this card. It was a Saudi
It's
Arabia
funny
show.
because it looks like Human versus Logan.
Oh, because the R got cut out. Yeah.
Human Logan.
But yeah, it was a Saudi Arabia
I
show.
vaguely remember it. I remember them fighting. I don't remember the details.
No, one of these was their fault.
You gotta stop talking with your mouth full.
There were no details. They just fought. The build was weird because it was centered around Logan's iron fist with like the bolts in it, and him punching out Paul Heyman. And it was just like, whatever. And
I do remember Paul Heyman getting in there.
Yeah.
And then you were like, oh, he's gonna disappear for 3 months because he just got taken out.
Every time Paul Heyman takes a bump, he takes a 3-month vacation. But yeah, I don't remember anything from this besides Roman vs. Logan. But the thing is, Roman vs. Logan was actually really good. The match itself, like, completely proved that Roman has it. Like, SummerSlam, Logan vs. Miz was like, okay, he's okay. But then Roman vs. Logan, this guy has had 2 matches in the WWE. His third match ever. He was in the main event for the world title.
Did you say that Roman had it?
Roman had what?
You said this match proved that Roman has it.
My bad, Logan. Logan has it.
Unless I'm crazy, but
Like
I thought
this
yeah.
is the match where everyone realized, holy shit, Logan Paul can actually wrestle really well. And then he got his contract after this with WWE too. Like he stopped being. This is the point where he stopped being a celebrity wrestler, and he's just now a wrestler. You know,
Yeah.
he crossed that line, which is really impressive, and he set a new standard for celebrity wrestling. But the rest of the show, I cannot remember a single fucking thing. So it gets the C here. Okay. You have anything to add?
No, I think that's good.
We got another
What's
big one.
what's this one? Is this War Games?
War Games. I
There's so
think
little on the screen that
it
I
is.
can't read
Yeah,
them.
it's everything had to get cropped to get put down here. War Games was pretty freaking awesome.
I liked the women's War Games more than I liked the men's War
I was gonna
Games.
say, I think the story
The
in the
men's,
men's were like
yeah,
the men's had more story. The women's was
the
like
women's was just like
brutal as shit.
10 women just beating the shit out of each other.
It,
It
it
was so good.
because there was like what trash can high flying spots. There was the
Oh
Miz.
yeah.
There was Io Sky like jumping off the top multiple times, if I remember correctly.
I remember her jumping around. I don't remember the specifics. I think she did like, are they moonsaults where they
Yeah,
jump off the back?
yeah. No,
Yeah.
Io Sky did moves off the top, and so did Nikki Ash or Nikki. What's her
I Nikki Cross. I
Nikki
forgot she
Cross?
was in that match.
Yeah, I think they both went off the top, which is impressive. Because the men's one, not a single person went off the top, but the women's, they were fucking
I
flying
mean,
off the
no,
top. It was nothing.
you had Sammy like doing that little dancey dance in the middle.
But he wasn't on top of the cage.
He wasn't on top of the cage.
I'm saying the woman, they were jumping off the top of that thing from the fucking start. The men never
Oh
climbed
yeah.
at all, which I don't know. But yeah, but like
They blew it out of the park. They
yeah.
did a
But
great job.
even not to even to undersell the men's one was still really good because you had the brawling. It was the brawl, and also okay. Here's my one thing I didn't like about the men's one. It was the Brawling Brutes plus Kevin Owens versus
Brawling Brutes and this guy.
yeah,
And
Brawling
then
Brutes and some Canadian dude versus the Bloodline, which you'd think naturally because you had Drew McIntyre as the honorary Brute, which was like he was lumped in with the Brawling
yeah,
Brutes, right? So you
he's
think
the other
naturally,
European or UK one.
yeah, you think naturally, okay, Roman fought Drew and beat him. Now they're doing War Games with the Brawling Brutes, who Sheamus is the leader of. Naturally, what comes next? Roman's versus Sheamus. When that never happened. We never got it. We never got Roman versus Sheamus. That's like that match would have been awesome because Sheamus is the best, you know? I'm just amazed that we never got that. Aside from those two matches, I believe there was an Edge match somewhere. No, there was a Judgment Day match somewhere thrown in there. I don't remember. Once again, but this is one of those shows. I think there were literally 4 matches on it because the 2 War Games
Yeah,
matches took forever. They were like 40-minute fucking movies, basically.
yeah,
I think it's a safe B.
yeah,
Maybe it can go high B for now. We'll reorder it. Might get tossed
yeah.
into A later. Royal Rumble, instant S. Instant S. This is like the best Rumble we've had in ages.
It was quite solid.
Because what? Number one, they started with the men's Royal Rumble. They never start with the men's
Yeah.
Royal Rumble. And it was it was pretty obvious that Cody was going to win. But leading up to it, I think we did not know that Sammy was not in it. So the whole time, I was really waiting for Sammy to come out because I wanted Sami Zayn to win. I thought it would be awesome to have Sami Zayn to be part of the Bloodline, win the Royal Rumble, and him turn on Roman Reigns like that. But they had a plan. Of course, they had a plan. Men's Royal Rumble was awesome. You have so many different
And with
things.
Gunther being in there, didn't Gunther like
Gunther was
break the
number
record?
1. Yeah, Gunther broke the record of longest like man standing in a Royal Rumble. He's the longest.
I think they
Iron
did
Man.
that twice. They both, the men's and the women's, with
Oh yeah, Rhea was the longest woman. She's the
Yeah,
first woman to win for number one too.
yeah,
But yeah, no, in the men's rumble alone, you can pick so many different pieces out of there to like analyze. You have Gunther going in number. Oh yeah, because the first three was Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew. You have the big
yeah.
men slapping Mammy out the gate, out
Big
the gate.
snapping man me.
Big men slapping Mammy out the gate. So you have that's like the strongest start ever,
Yeah,
and they were all in there for a really long time. And
yeah.
then you start with that. You get into it more.
That in and of itself has its own little narrative there
Yeah,
because it's
because
like, oh, are Sheamus and Drew buddies in this match,
mhm.
or are they gonna be like every man
And
for
especially
himself?
because it built to the WrestleMania three-way between them,
Yeah,
which we'll get to. We'll get to. So you have that to start, and then you have that leads into like, oh, then you have the Dominic Mysterio stuff where he comes out with Ray's mask because Ray gets announced, he doesn't come out, and it turns out they jumped him backstage. Dominic comes out, Finn comes out, and then Damian Priest comes out, and something that like doesn't I don't think gets enough attention. Damian Priest goes straight for Gunther,
yeah.
straight for
He just
Sheamus.
started
He
wailing it
he
off.
was beating.
He did like
He was
he
in
did the
there
little
holding his own.
rounds.
Yeah, he was a big man slapping man meat. He proved it. I think that's the
Yeah.
start of when WWE realized, wait a minute, this Damian Priest guy is awesome. Because I've always known, I've always loved Damian Priest. My first ever
We
match,
been knew
I gotta let the people know, my first ever match I ever saw, Survivor Series
the
2021,
5 people who
Barclays Center.
watched me.
Yeah, Damian Priest versus Shinsuke Nakamura. First match I ever watched. I fucking loved Damian Priest from the second I saw him. Big always supported Damian Priest. I think this is where WD was like, okay, he's in there holding it down with Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew. We gotta push this guy. Anyway, then you have um fucking Ricochet and Logan Paul. You have Logan Paul and Seth. You have so many stories within the Rumble itself. Because
Yeah.
then the Logan versus Seth thing carries an Elimination Chamber. The Ricochet and Logan thing got paid off at Money in the Bank 6 months later. 6 months later, it's getting paid off. You draw so many stories. And then you have Cody come out number 30. And you have Gunther and Cody in there alone going at it for 15 minutes.
They were there for 15 minutes?
You were there for like maybe not 15 minutes, like a good amount of time
A chunk.
alone.
A hefty chunk.
Yeah, the mini match. It was basically a mini match. It was awesome. So much good mini stories that got extended, and the fact that the Gunther Cody thing still hasn't gotten paid off. Like I'm waiting. That's something I'm really looking forward to. Whenever they do Gunther versus Cody, like outside of the Rumble, I think it's going to be magnificent. I think it's going to be gold. Yeah, that's just one match.
Yeah.
There's 3 other matches lumped in here. Yeah, and you just said yeah because you know who's next. LA
Yeah.
Knight. Yeah. Talk about a complete show stealer. Talk about a complete show stealer. Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight. How the hell did LA Knight come out of that looking better than Bray Wyatt? How?
I like that match. I know that
I
like
think the match is fine.
a lot of people didn't like it because they're like, "Oh, you made such a big deal about this pitch black match,
Yeah.
and then it was just in
The
black
Mountain
light." I
Dew.
thought it looked the Mountain Dew pitch black match. I liked it. I
Well,
thought
I
it was
really,
really nice. I really liked
once
when he
again,
like did that thing where he leaned back and it was just
yeah,
like he had that little face on.
I think
I really liked it.
I think the match was also great. The what people have the problem with is the story because the story makes no sense.
Well, I don't know the story.
Yeah, the
Well,
story
I guess
was
it
Bray
Uncle
Wyatt,
what's his face is there, right?
Uncle
Uncle Howdy?
Howdy.
Yeah.
It was the story was Uncle Howdy and Bray, and no one actually really knows because it's so vague. And for some reason, he was feuded with LA Knight. But thank God he feuded with LA Knight because if it wasn't for that, LA Knight would have not have blown up. I remember I was in
Was that the
Philadelphia.
reason?
Yeah, that was LA Knight's first feud. Because the whole thing with LA Knight is that he was what Max Dupree because Vince McMahon was like, oh, he's too old, and
He's
Triple H was
too
like,
old.
we got to set this guy loose, and his
Let
first
him cook.
because
Let him
he like
cook.
betrayed the Maximum models, and then Bray Wyatt feuded with them. It was really random, but thank God because I was at Raw 30 right in Philadelphia with the segment with LA Knight and the Undertaker. And I was sitting there like, I know who this guy is, but who is this guy, and why is he
Why was
awesome?
LA Knight hanging out with The Undertaker?
Because he was out there yelling at Bray Wyatt. He was like, Bray Wyatt sucks, this, that, the other thing. But he was doing, his LA Knight stuff. And I
Yeah.
was like, why am I rooting for this guy? I don't know who he is. And then the Undertaker, and because, his whole thing was, he was like, because I know there's a bunch of veterans back there, so I challenge any one of them to come out here. And then the Undertaker came out. That was the whole thing. And then he ran away from the Undertaker, but Bray Wyatt caught him, and blah, blah, blah. But I was like, that was when I was like, wait a minute, this LA Knight guy is awesome. And the match was great, and he has so much charisma, and he's once again taken off, because now we're at Money in the Bank, where he was in the match and the favorite, even though he did not win. Spoiler alert. Yeah. I thoroughly
Yeah.
enjoyed. Yeah. And now, literally, I've like gotten so many people into LA Knight that don't even watch wrestling. That like
Yeah.
I can go into a voice chat full of people going, yeah, and they all go, yeah, back. It's just caught on because he's awesome. I love LA Knight. Then you have, here's like the low point of the night: Alexa Bliss versus Bianca Belair, which was
Yeah.
once again a decent
Yeah.
match, but you had like weird
They
Uncle Howdy shenanigans.
Yeah, they tried to like sneak in but they didn't really go anywhere. She
Yeah.
like tried to taunt her with like Uncle Howdy stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then not only was it not referenced in the actual match that Uncle Howdy was in, right? You'd think maybe something, but no.
Mm-hmm. It was
They
weird.
kind of just let it drift and then
And here's another
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Not Bianca. Alexa Bliss, Bray Wyatt have since those matches have gone completely missing. Where the hell have they been? I think Alexa Bliss is pregnant. Bray Wyatt got injured. No one fucking
Bray
knows.
Wyatt also pregnant. Both out on parental leave.
Uncle Daddy Howdy. I don't know. All right. Here's my fun Bray Wyatt fact. Now that we're going into Elimination Chamber, Bray Wyatt has wrestled 3 times since his return. 3 times. 2 of them have been dark matches. One of them was at the Royal Rumble. I have seen both dark matches live. I don't think there's a single other person on this planet that has seen both of those matches. I think I have genuinely seen more Bray Wyatt matches since his return than anyone else. Because Madison Square Garden, their holiday show, Bray Wyatt made his in-ring debut against fucking, who was it? It was, what's his name? The Indian guy. I'm totally forgetting his name. No, not Mustafa Ali. He's not, I don't think he's Indian. He was an old champion. He feuded with John Cena and The Miz. He's now a manager for fucking Indus Sher. How am I forgetting his name? Hold on, I'm just gonna Google this. Indian. Watch this. This did not help. Great Khali. This guy. What's his name? Oh my god, why? Give me a name, please. Not Shanky. Him in the middle. What the hell's his name? Oh my god, Shanky, get out of here.
Why is
Jinder
your screen
Mahal.
blinking like
Thank
that?
you. He made his in-ring debut against Jinder Mahal at Madison Square Garden house show, and I saw that live. Then he has the Royal Rumble, and then the SmackDown before Elimination Chamber, which I was at. He had the LA Knight rematch in a no DQ match where he put LA Knight through a table on a non-televised match, and it was so awesome that it was actually better than their fucking match of the Royal Rumble. But yeah, I've seen more Bray Wyatt matches than anyone else since his return. I just want to brag about that. I'm not even done with the Royal Rumble because there's 2 more matches. You have the Women's Royal Rumble, which I don't think was better than the men's. It was almost as good, but
It was decent. It was decent. I enjoyed it.
Rhea going in number 1 and mowing through people was just great. Is what we needed. We had that really funny moment where I forget what her name is, but like the bigger girl returned and everyone like beat her up and kicked her out.
Doudrop, but it wasn't. Oh wait, no, Nia Jax.
Nia Jax. Because I remember I like desperately did not want Nia Jax to return, and she did, but it was in a good, it was like in a funny way, so I didn't
Was
mind it.
Dewdrop in that match under her new name, Piper Niven?
Piper Niven, yeah, she was Piper Niven, and
Okay,
she debuted. That's where she changed her name, I think.
because I only know her as Dewdrop, but then they were like,
I
Piper
mean,
Niven!
yeah, I think she hasn't really been around since then, which I was never a big fan of her. Um, I think 'cause she was paired up with Nikki Ash, who I'm also not a big fan of, but not no disrespect to them. I don't find them super interesting. Um, yeah, the women's match was great. Rhea being number one and just mowing through people, and then her beating Asuka. Like they're Asuka, Rhea, and Liv were I think the last ones in, and they have a great ending sequence where they're all on the outside of the ring.
Yeah, with
Rhea,
Asuka doing
yeah, like Rhea dodges the mist, Liv gets hit
yeah,
by it, and she takes them both out.
yeah.
It was pretty cool. And then we have like the greatest ending to any show ever with Kevin versus Roman, where the match itself is not even like I don't remember the match at all because of the actual ending where Sammy finally turned on Roman, you know. Like the chair shot heard around the world.
Was that Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
Damn.
Because the whole thing Roman beat Kevin and they're all jumping Kevin afterwards. Then Sammy won't hit Kevin. So Roman hands him the chair and he hits Roman instead. That's where literally just like I can't put into words how fucking awesome that was. Yeah. Royal Rumble was
Yeah.
absolute S tier. Because even the forgettable match, which was Alexa Bliss versus Bianca, was like not as forgettable as the entire rest of the matches for Crown Jewel, you know.
Yeah.
But next up, personally, I'm gonna put this in S. I think it was really good. I don't think it was Royal Rumble good, but I think it was better than everything else. Because there were five. There was what, five matches?
There was a lot of matches. And like I feel like being there in person, you'd expect there to be a lot more downtime. There really wasn't. They were
Yeah,
firing those things out.
it was all the matches were really fast paced too.
Yeah.
Well, hold on.
I
Let's
mean,
talk.
what Brock versus
Yeah, yeah.
Bobby was like 2 seconds.
We'll get to that. There's always like the downside. There's always the like the mid match, and that's always in the middle. If you haven't noticed, the Alexa vs Bianca match right in the middle, Bobby versus Brock right in the middle. They know what they're doing. They know when matches are not going to be good, and they're going to put them in the middle. But they open up the women's chamber match, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a really good match. You had Raquel running wild, which I loved. Asuka winning was the absolute right choice. There weren't many moments. I know Nikki Cross went off the top. Again, I guess she's just the girl who goes off the top. That's her only thing she's got going for her. You have the awesome thing where Raquel like charges through one of the pods or whatever and to get Carmella. Yeah,
I forgot about that. Yeah,
yeah.
she busted through the glass.
She like ran head first through. It was pretty ridiculous. I was hyped, rooting so hard for Raquel.
Raquel and Asuka, you were
And
going
yeah,
off.
because it was a win-win for me. I like them both. I'm a big fan. On my Peacock account, my profile picture is Asuka, and it has been Asuka since the beginning. So then I think after that was the Bobby Brock match, right?
Yeah, because that
Hmm.
was like a sandwich match.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly the order. Bobby Brock totally like we got big man. This was the one time.
They hit each other hard, but it was very quick,
I was
which,
gonna
I
say,
mean,
yeah,
that's just a lot of big
this
man
is
matches,
the
right? They slap each other and leave.
well.
So
Usually, big men slapping man meat is enough. But this was the one time where it was not enough because like it was this all you had Bobby versus Brock one from Crown Jewel 2021, which was really cool, where Bobby beat Brock. Bobby, that was like a big deal. No one beats Brock. Bobby beat Brock. Then you have their Bobby versus Brock 2, which was somewhere. Oh, I think that was also one of. I don't remember. It was one of those forgetter matches where I was like, okay, that was okay. Round 3 is going to be really good because these got beef now. I think they might have been even. I think their record might have been even. And then during the Royal Rumble, Bobby knocked Brock out. So it's you're building, the tension's high. You have these two.
Oh man, we didn't even talk about Brock's response to being knocked out. Man went.
Oh yeah.
Like animal mode. He was not happy. He started fighting everybody.
Another thing, a personal thing I like to point out about the Bobby vs. Brock feud, I've seen so much of it. I've seen the start of it, not the start, but like the middle. October 10th Raw, October 10th, 2020. Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley for the United States title. Brock Lesnar come out, interrupt the match, and cost it for Bobby Lashley. I was there for that. Raw 30, Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory, United States title. Brock Lesnar came out and beat Bobby, costing the match again. And then I got to see the finale of this trilogy live, and it totally disappointed. So, there's a little downside, but it wasn't terrible. Anything else about Bobby Brock?
No, I don't think so.
Excellent. Now we move on. Edge and Beth versus Finn and Rhea. This was a good match.
It was. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very funny watching them crawl around under the mat.
There's lots of shenanigans, which I enjoyed because that's how the Judgment Day matches should be.
Because I feel like they don't show that part on camera.
No.
Right? They just show like, oh God, Finn's up behind Edge. But like watching him he went under that mat so fast.
Yeah.
He must have just been bear crawling, just hands and feet, not knees, just like it took him like a second to get to. He cut that tangent, got his ass. I mean, Edge was on the floor the whole time, which was funny. Beth was doing all the work.
Oh yeah, Beth and Rhea absolutely carried. They absolutely carried that match.
Yeah, because it started with Edge and Finn, and then they tapped out like immediately, and then it was just Edge getting beat up by Finn on the outskirts while Beth just beat the fuck out of Rhea.
Yeah, they like shout out to Beth for totally carrying. Like she's a even more part time
monster.
Yeah, but she's like super part time. She's wrestled 2 or 3 times in the past.
She's a cameo wrestler.
Yeah, the thing is, for someone who does not show up that often, she pulled off completely professionally, like 0 ring rust, which is ridiculous. I thought that was totally awesome. We'll get to I have an issue with the whole Edge versus Finn feud. I do, because if I recall correctly, Edge won.
I'm pretty sure.
Edge and Beth won this match. Yeah, they did. Which I've got a problem with. I got a big problem with. And we'll get into it when we get to WrestleMania, too. But Edge won, which I think, because you have the trilogy, the Edge vs. Finn trilogy. Extreme Rules, Finn won. Elimination Chamber, Edge won. They're even. We'll get to what happens at Mania, because I got a big problem when we get there. After this, we have the men's Elimination Chamber match. I think that I really was really, really happy and impressed. You have Montez Ford being awesome. You have Damian Priest being awesome. You have Johnny Gargano, who much needed. He needs more focus because he's awesome, but he got an opportunity to be awesome. You have Bronson Reed, who was kind of new at the time, being awesome, and you have Seth Rollins being awesome, and you have Austin Theory being this snickering fucking douchebag who I want to lose the title so badly. And you have Logan Paul. You have so much in this mix, actually.
I still think we've probably talked about it before. I think I mentioned it in the other video that we did when we were talking about Logan Paul. Because just the way he came out, because the door was open, right? I don't remember why, but the door was open.
Montez Ford.
Someone got hurt.
Yeah, no, Montez Ford got stomped into oblivion by Seth Rollins.
Yeah, and so then the door was open, and you're sitting there and you're going, that door's open too long, someone's coming in. And then you just see someone sprinting down the little runway thing, and you just go, holy fuck, it's Logan Paul. And Logan Paul just starts beating Seth.
Yeah.
So that was a fun little
because of their
little
beef from the
hint of
Rumble.
excitement. Yeah.
It's so good. But yeah, once again, it's another match with so many highlights. You have Montez Ford like Spider-Man. He's literally Spider-Man in that match. He's climbing, he's jumping, he's fucking like on the roof of the cage, like monkeying around. It's ridiculous what he does. How athletic that guy is. Because I expected they like subverted my expectations a lot. Because I expected the highlight of the match. Because Montez Ford has that crazy the from the heavens splash. He's got the
Yeah.
highest splash known to man. So I was like, oh, I think he's gonna do a splash from the top. No, he did.
No, he straight up got
Yeah,
up the top
he
and
climbed
jumped
the
down.
cage and like fell. It was awesome.
It wasn't even a splash. There was no form. He just fully jumped onto
He
everybody.
ragdolled.
Yeah.
That was great. You have that awesome moment where Seth and Johnny Gargano are on top of a pod.
Yeah, they're just hanging out on the top.
They're just resting, and not a lot of people know, but they have like there's awesome I forget what their indie names were. Tyler
Black.
Yeah, Seth Rollins, Tyler Black. I forget Johnny Gargano. They have like a series of indie matches that are like so fucking good. But honestly, I think a Seth versus Johnny like true feud is really needed for Johnny Gargano when he comes back from injury. He's injured right now. But you have that cute moment where they're up there, they look at each other, and they just they beat the hell out of each other. And Gargano like Hurricane Ron and Seth Rollins off the top of the pod onto Damian Priest, who has his back turned, and they also have their back turned. There's so many like insane spots. You have Damian Priest also running wild, which I need more in my life. I need Damian Priest. Just if I can have a Damian Priest button and have him spawn and like take out a car or something, I wish I could have that. But I love Damian Priest. You have him running wild, and you have the awesome part with Bronson Reed, where he's this big. He's like I'd say Bronson Reed's like the best big man they've got right now because he's protected so well. Because there's the coolest part where you have Seth, he super kicks Bronson Reed, and Bronson Reed like no sells it, and then Johnny and Seth both super kick Bronson Reed, and he no sells it, and then Johnny, Seth, and Montez Ford super kick him, and they finally knock him over. And it's like, oh, and then Montez Ford does a splash. Like they just like made him look awesome with that, where he resisted 2 super kicks and took 3 people to take him down. The only thing
he's the wall.
The only thing in this whole match that sucked was Austin Theory, who is the defending champion. Austin Theory.
I didn't remember him even being in it.
Yeah,
he was the starter, right?
He was the starter. No, I don't remember.
Somebody
him and Seth started. That's right. Yeah, that match was awesome. Austin Theory kind of didn't even need to be there, really, but he was there. And then Logan Paul showed up at the end too. Great match. Now we get to probably my personal match of the year. You want to say it? You want to put it in for first?
I mean, I feel like there's two options there.
What do you mean?
Are we talking men's or women's?
What? Oh, one match left.
Oh shit! Yeah, I thought you were talking about WrestleMania.
No, we're not done with it. There's still a
big... I know. I forgot about it. Okay.
The match I went for.
Yeah, the Sammy one. Sammy and Roman.
Yeah, the Sammy one. The Sammy one, bro. This is peak anything. Bro, Sammy vs. Roman is so good. Katie, do you remember us driving there? And I would not shut the fuck up about Sammy vs. Roman.
Yeah.
Our drive there was an hour and a half or something. And the entire time I was talking, I was just I wonder.
You were theorizing.
I had in my mind written down.
You were like, well, if they have Sammy win, then they're going to do this. But if they have Roman win, then they're going to do this. And if there's interference, then there's going to do this.
I have every single outcome written. I was so excited for this match. And, was I disappointed?
I did think Sammy was going to win.
I thought Sammy had it. I really thought Sammy had it. Obviously, looking back, there's one of their moments where, they had a plan. They had a plan. In the moment, I was like,
In the moment, I don't like the plan.
yeah, because even like looking like when I was done with that, well, like when it was over the next day, I listened to all my wrestling podcasts, and everyone was like, "Yeah, when Sammy got pinned, that deafening silence that went over the arena, and that was
Yeah,
real. We were there. The crowd
yeah.
was so wild,
So
and the
yeah,
second Sammy got pinned, everyone shut the fuck up. Everyone
yeah,
shut the. You could hear a fucking dime drop in that building.
yeah.
It was like I was
Well,
like,
wasn't that one of the longest? Like, it was either the longest "fuck you Roman" chant or like one of the longest Sami Zayn chants. Like
yeah,
that,
no,
like broke a record.
the
That how
the
that
night
loud that crowd was.
the night before they set the
Oh, it was the
record.
night before.
Yeah,
Okay.
at the SmackDown that you weren't at, but I was at.
Yeah, no.
It was they set the record for the longest standing ovation ever in the Bell Center in Montreal. I forget what the time
Gotcha. I
is,
knew it was something.
but like Sami Zayn actually broke a record, and he also had that great promo where he was like, "Oh, this isn't just Sami versus Roman. This is Montreal versus Roman." And bro, the crowd like really was awesome too, because they like the "fuck you Roman" chants were awesome. The Sami chants, Zayn chants were awesome. And then, like even like the smaller, I don't know, and the kid. I said we were talking about this. I know I mentioned this last time. The kids that were sitting behind us were really funny
Yeah.
because they were picking up on all my chants. Every time I
Yeah.
started saying something, the kids behind me would also start saying it because I was rooting
Yeah.
for Damian Priest, and then they started rooting for Damian Priest.
You're specifically saying "Let's go Damo."
Yeah, and they started saying it too.
It was a very specific Damian Priest
And
chant.
and then I was doing the Edge is sleeping, and then they said
Yeah,
Edge is
they
sleeping.
loved the Edge of
I
sleeping.
I was I
They
felt
were
bad that I didn't
laughing
continue that.
so hard about the Edge of sleeping, and
The
then they
Edge,
kept trying to start it.
yeah. The Edge is sleeping one too. I know you know the backstory.
That's the Randy's
Yeah,
sleeping, right?
because my first pay per view Survivor Series, there was the Randy Orton and Riddle RK Bro versus Usos, where for like a good amount of
Where
time.
Randy, much like Edge, stayed on the
Yeah,
ground the whole time.
so that time the whole arena was going Randy's sleeping. So as a joke, I just said Edge is sleeping, but the kids actually like caught on to it, which I didn't think would happen. And I also, on the record, Katie witnessed this. I started a "fuck you Roman" chant. I absolutely started a "fuck you Roman" chant. One of my proudest moments of my life because fuck you Roman, honestly. But the match, aside from the crowd, the match was awesome. You had like 5 different layers of interference, and the fact that like it took all that to beat Sammy is pretty cool. That he just didn't get jobbed out like most people would to Roman. I don't know. I think it was really good. I generally do. Like
Good
even
match. I enjoyed it. I forgot about it in the moment, but yeah, I did it. I thought it was a good match.
all right, we're on to the big one. WrestleMania Night 1. I think
I mean, night one was
Night 1 was so much better.
far superior. I mean, you can't have
Night 1 was so much better.
so good.
I think let's rank this one after we go through everything. I've been ranking them before I go through everything. Let's go down the list. They opened with John Cena versus Theory.
I didn't see that
You
one,
didn't see it.
but I did
You
call
know,
it.
it's really sad that John Cena is getting older. It really is. Like he just can't. Like he's still got it, but he's starting to not have it, and it's showing. And it's you know, because even before I was like a hardcore wrestling fan like this, you know John Cena. My best friend
Yeah.
growing up had a Halloween party in the first grade. I dressed up as Wolverine. I showed up at the party. 4 other fucking kids were dressed as John Cena. John Cena is the closest thing to real life that we have like as a superhero.
Yeah.
Genuinely, he's just John Cena, and it's sad to see him like he's starting to lose it.
It's like when your parents start getting old and you go, "Oh, you're
Yep,
old."
that's exactly what's going on in John Cena. The match, it wasn't bad, but it was like kind of a weak open. But but the thing is, John Cena's entrance was really cool because he came out with all the Make a Wish kids. Because he's like, I have no idea how that guy
He's
does.
the Make-A-Wish guy.
He does more Make a Wishes than there are days in the year.
Yeah.
That's like literally you have to be superhuman. You have to be in more places. You have to be in multiple places at once to do that. You know, can never complain about John Cena. Then you have Brock versus Omos, which was just weird. That was just
Yeah, they
really
just threw another. They just had. They keep throwing Brock in big man matches.
yeah. Which
You
the thing is,
know, they're not giving him any.
I
They're good,
I
but
like Omos and I really like Brock, but the match.
Omos Sapiens.
I'm an Omos sapien. I am an Omos sexual. I fucking love Omos. I even called Hayden. I was like,
Yeah,
"Yo, Hayden, my friend who lives in upstate, but he like doesn't go to school with us, but he doesn't even watch wrestling, but he just likes Omos for some reason.
he likes
I-
how big he is. He says,
yeah,
"Hey, that's a big old guy.
like
That's a big old
he
dude."
rarely watches wrestling, but he'll watch only if Omos is on. I was like, "Yo, Omos is wrestling. Come over." And it was just a really weird match, but whatever. But it was fun. That's the thing. It was fun. Um, then after that, you have what Becky, Trish, and Lita versus Damage Control, which we kind of skimmed through.
Yeah,
Then this is where this is where like the good stuff kicks in. Seth versus Logan.
yeah. I think I'm.
That was really good.
Did I miss the first three or just the first one?
You missed
Because
the
I
first
do
two.
remember.
Oh wait, I don't remember. Maybe I'm getting the order wrong because it was John Cena in theory.
Because
I
I
think.
missed the Becky one.
Oh no! You know what it was? I forgot. It was John Cena in theory was out first, and then second they had the tag team showcase match because there was like a bunch of random leftover tag teams that had nothing to do. Because you had Braun and Ricochet versus the Viking Raiders versus
Alpha Academy,
the
right?
Street Profits versus Alpha Academy, which is a good match because those are four tag teams. They're all really good, and it was like there was no stakes, but it was just pure like it was a showcase match, and they showcased. They definitely fucking showcased. I was sports entertained, as they say.
Because
And then I
I
think
missed those two, and then it was the Becky one,
yeah,
and I missed. I missed like most of that. No, 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 no.
no,
No.
Seth and Logan
Then
were
was the
great.
Seth, which you had paused so
Yeah,
that I could go and watch it because I was coming back from a track meet.
yeah,
And then we skipped through the
yeah.
Becky one
To
to
catch up.
catch back up with the live stream. Or not the live stream, the
That's right.
actual live show.
We recalled correctly now.
Yeah.
Thank
Good
you.
recollection. Good recollection.
But yeah, Seth versus Logan. Once again, Logan Paul, amazing people. Where like everyone doubts him, and he's just somehow is amazing. Like I'm not defending Logan Paul as a human being, but that boy can fucking wrestle. I, there's no other way to say it. That dude's good. But yeah, that match was fun as fuck. Logan Paul coming down on the zip line was awesome. Seth Rollins' ring gear, like one of the best WrestleMania ring gears of all time. I know a
Oh
lot.
my god, I still talk to people about it.
You know what I can't stand? I can't stand my homophobia in fucking WWE.
What
Every
is
time,
there even to be homophobic about? He came out in a harness.
no, not WWE, the fans. I remember
That's
after.
what I meant.
What do you mean,
Were they just like talking about his fits?
bro? So every time I open up comments on like a Seth Rollins post, everyone's like, they gotta not make him gay anymore. They gotta Seth Rollins gotta stop acting so gay. Like what? What
I
the
mean, he
fuck
is
are you?
married to the man.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, I don't know. I think his fits are fire every
Yeah,
time.
Seth Rollins is the best ring gear. Actually, let me hold on. Let me go through my
I
mind.
was
I take it back. He's got the second best ring gear in all of WWE right now.
Who's
Versus
got the
Damian
best?
Priest. I love Damian Priest ring gear. Big Damian
Yeah.
Priest fan. That's just my bias. But I remember after he did that entrance, like they posted on Instagram, so many comments like, "This is hella gay. I can't believe that WWE gone woke. WWE is so gay now. They're trying to blah 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 blah." It's like what, bro? Number one is appreciate Seth Rollins being the genius, the absolute genius of an artist that he is. Does not matter, even if he was gay, which he's not gay. It doesn't matter if he's gay or not. He just because he has a superior fashion sense is not make him fucking
Not these beta males
yeah.
getting
It does not make him.
intimidated by a man who knows how to dress
You
himself.
cannot criticize Seth Rollins when he is probably the best wrestler on the planet right now. I
Yeah,
might get
this
shot
man's
in some places
fitted
for saying
out in a pink harness
yeah.
with like
It's like a
red
five
blanket
layered
pants. Are you
yeah,
joking?
it's like a 5-layered harnessed puffer, fucking everything was going. That outfit was so awesome, and I don't think it gets
Oh,
enough
so good.
appreciation because of people being homophobic. They're like, stop, gotta be. I see so many. A comment I saw earlier
He was
was,
flexing on his wife with it. She was
"Oh
so
yeah,
jealous.
that was the backstage where Becky was reacting to it. It was really funny." I saw a comment with someone saying he's got to go back to his architect ring gear and not be like the gay Rollins. I think his architect ring gear was ugly. I really
What
do.
was his? Was that the yellow one where he wore like those vests and shit? Or not the vests, but like the singlet types. You spell that so weird.
Whoopsie. Like
Yeah,
I don't
I
like that.
don't really like that.
Like this jacket's kind of cool, but like this
He's
the
gotta
weird
have the
tank
titties
top.
out, man.
Yeah, his hold on. Let me just bring up. I'm putting one hand to my food.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
Ah, so I mean, come
It's so
on.
good. Even
Show the legs. Find the legs. And when he took the stuff off, it was still the pink.
yeah. One. Oh, my
So
left
good.
hand's not doing. Oh, it
Oh
looks
my
so
god.
good.
It's so
How can
good.
anybody not like that? He looks so fucking fabulous, you know. And oh yeah, he had the orchestra. He had the guy like
Yeah, he had
it was.
not the composer. The
It,
what? What is that called? Man,
is it director?
conductor.
Yeah.
Conductor. I was a band
Well,
kid. I know what they're called.
one man for he's
Yeah.
my king. He's my
So
fucking
good.
king. That is it.
So good. I could just look at his ring gear for hours.
Yeah.
Just I look it up
Even
sometimes to show people because I talk to them. I'm like, no, you have no idea. It's
the
camp.
Elton John ring gear, the fucking
Yeah,
fuzzy pajama ring gear.
the big stompy boots.
Yeah.
The
He
man did
has
the stomp in his big rubber boots.
uh, Seth Rollins tangent aside. This match,
We
that
should
match
we
is
should
great.
rank Seth Rollins outfits.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Those would all be
That'll be
S
really
tier
fun.
except for his old ring gear.
Yeah. All right. And then the KSI. Okay. No more Logan Paul. No more Logan Paul. What the fuck
I
comes after?
mean, come on, match of the year right there.
Well, Logan
So
Paul versus.
yeah,
You think it's match of the year? That's your match of the year.
yeah.
All right. I'm not gonna.
I've
I'm
gone
not
back and watched it like several times. It's just
gonna.
good. I don't
It's really
know.
good. It is.
It's cinematic, iconic.
The thing is, you can't say match of the year because the year isn't over. How we should do that. That's another thing we should do. We should go do our match of the year when the year's over. The only issue is I don't think anything's ever a top Sammy versus Roman for me. But we can do a
You
stipulation like
think?
I
I
can't
don't
say
even
that.
remember that match too well. And
Hey,
I was there.
Katie, I was losing my marbles at
I
that
know you were. You were next to me.
match. I
I
think
don't
I, I
know.
I was reborn during that match, Katie. Sorry, I'm looking at the fucking the buffalo sauce.
Smacking them
All right,
fingies.
I'm done eating. I'm done eating. But all right, what's happened on night one? Um.
Charlotte.
Oh
Charlotte and
yeah.
Rhea.
No, there was something in between that though. There was something in between Logan Paul and Seth and.
It was Becky.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, there was that, which I didn't really watch. I didn't. That feud was pretty weak to me, so I did not really like it. The match was probably fun. Uh, sorry, I really liked them, but I just couldn't get into it.
And
Then
then
yeah,
you've got, I mean, women's match of the year.
actually, if I had to pick a match of the year besides Sammy, or a match of the let's say half year for now, besides Sammy Roman, it'd be Charlotte versus.
I mean, Charlotte, Rhea's breaking her nose.
Yeah,
She's
it was the
throwing her.
that
I
was
don't
the
know if it was
woman's.
the two powerful suplexes or if Charlotte was just overturning,
Well, I
or
think what it was,
undercutting.
Rhea was
But
Rhea. It looked like Rhea was trying, like doing in like.
she was trying to hit her face, I
Hold on,
think,
do I
or
know
like
the
get
move
her.
right?
I don't even know what.
Yeah, I feel like Rhea was trying to do inverted suplexes and just was flinging Charlotte too fucking far, and she was over rotating. I don't know, but I feel like that match is the women's equivalent of the Gunther versus Sheamus, where they beat the fuck out
Oh
of each other.
yeah.
Because they really like it was one of those moments where they were just like full contact. They were not holding back, and also they were not the main event.
Yeah.
Which personally, I know a lot of people are like, oh, Kevin Sammy versus Uso should be main event because of the story, and
That
yeah,
one didn't do much for me, honestly.
it did for me, but it set a lot of
But you're more
records.
into the bloodline than I am.
Yeah,
The
I
bloodline's interesting. I think it's a very
leading.
good story. However, come on. I mean, Charlotte
Hold on,
and Rhea.
I'm gonna give you the meta analysis of this. If they, I feel like they put on they had that grudge where they were told you guys are not the main event. That
And they
made
said, "You
them,
know what? We're gonna make it
yeah.
the main
They
event."
were like, we're gonna steal the show. I feel like if they weren't the main event, it still would have been good, but it would have been the other way around, where people are like, oh, Kevin and Sammy should have been the main event,
Yeah.
and they would have performed with it. Like once you get told, when you're in that competing slot where you're like, oh, like
Your
you
match isn't as important as their
exactly. You
match.
go into that match being like, now we have a point to
You go,
prove,
"I'm gonna make it the best match you've
and
ever
they had
seen."
that point to prove, and they absolutely fucking proved it. So that match was awesome. I think besides from Roman versus Sammy, it's my favorite match of the year. Uh,
You
really,
keep cutting out, by the way.
like a lot or recently.
Um,
Well,
recently.
I'll move my mic closer. I'll speak a little louder. But yeah, no, that match was pretty awesome. And then you have Kevin Sammy versus Usos, which I don't think it's as good as it, but the story was there. Once again, I feel like the men's story is usually better, but the women's they like have that chip on their shoulder where they're
The
like,
woman's punch factor.
yeah, because like the women's war game match was physically just more brutal and more action, but less story. And the same thing with this, where the Kevin Sammy match had more story, less action than the Rhea Charlotte, where they just beat the hell out of each other. But sometimes I guess you need big women slapping woman meat. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I, I'm never gonna say that again. But yeah, I'd say. What are you thinking? A or S?
For night one, I'd give it S.
Okay, I was thinking S too. I was thinking S too.
Night two, I'm not sure.
I have
Maybe
I have a
A.
I have a big fucking hot take. I think night two for me was. Let me just run through, okay? The three
It was
matches,
underwhelming
the
as
three
far as night one
matches
goes, in
that
my
mattered
opinion.
most to me was the IC title match. It was the Finn versus Edge Hell in a Cell match, and it was Cody versus Roman. And I feel like two out of the three of those matches they completely screwed up. And then one of them they also in the moment screwed up. But it was one of those moments where Triple H had a plan, so it was okay. We'll go through the list though. What the fuck did they open with for the night two? I genuinely
I
don't
don't
remember.
even remember. And I was there for the whole thing.
I couldn't tell you what it was. Uh was it Asuka and Bianca?
Not to open, I don't think.
Well, that did happen, and Bianca won for some reason.
Yeah.
That's another one. Like all the winners for night two were weird picks. Basically,
I
well,
think
okay,
everyone retained, right?
yeah, yeah, everyone retained, and but here's the thing: what Bianca won when Asuka should have won, and then Asuka won like a month later. So it was. I know why they did it because they wanted to make Becky the longest reigning women's Raw champion or whatever.
Bianca.
Yeah, Bianca. Sorry, thank you. Like I know why they did it, but it was stupid. They shouldn't have done it. Like save that record for someone else. In my opinion. Then there's the women's tag team showcase match, which is also just fun. Simple as that. It's a fun tag team match. Uh, okay, IC title three way was pretty good. I don't think it was better than Sheamus versus Gunther, like way back at Clash of the Castle. But for some reason, Gunther retained, and don't think he should have. Obviously now he's still like running around as IC title champion, and he's really good. I think he's probably like the greatest IC champion since fucking like the Macho Man Randy Savage since the fucking 90s. Um, so like not the biggest deal to me. I was disappointed that Drew didn't win because I'm a very big Drew fan, but whatever, it's still a good match. Okay, here's my massive, throbbing, big fucking issue with this, with not only this pay per view, but the Edge versus Finn feud. Why did Edge win the feud? Why did Edge win that Hell in a Cell match?
Because what's his face got
There's no
absolutely obliterated in
that's
his head.
That's more evidence that Finn should have won.
Why? He was injured.
Okay, here's the thing. Finn got busted open in the middle of the match because Edge made a mistake. Number one, Edge fucked up, injured Finn. In the middle of the match, Finn Balor staples his own head together. Continues the match. That? Remember when the camera was off him and like we were like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? The medic is in there. He stapled his own head shut. That's what the shirt is for. Finn 714 staples or whatever, because he had fucking staples in his head. He continues the match, loses. So naturally you'd think, okay, Finn is injured. He's not going to be there. He comes out the next night and wrestles. He has staples in his fucking skull, and he still wrestles the next night. And where does Edge go? Edge disappears for what? April, May, June, July. 4 months? Edge goes missing for 4 months when Finn got injured? And Finn lost. What was the what what the fuck? And also not only was it Finn, it was the demon Finn Balor, which has only lost one time. One time. So if you want to preserve this factor of like, ooh, the demon's only lost one time, whenever the demon comes out, he rarely loses. Why the fuck do you have him beat the demon? And Edge is this old guy. He has a fucking record from years ago. Finn he's not younger, but he's younger than Edge. Finn is 40 years old. Edge is fucking 50. Finn Balor has 10 years left and Edge is retiring this year. Why is Edge winning? He does not need the win for his career. If Finn beat Edge, you could be like, oh, he beat, this Hall of Famer Edge with staples in his head. But no, instead now everybody and their mother's asking, why the fuck did Edge beat the demon? That's my rant. I genuinely think that was a terrible decision. The match was so good too. And then it ended so randomly. Like, what? It's over? That's it? They had the purple and red like themed sticks and ladders and tables, and Finn was fucking bleeding out of his head, and he lost. No idea why. I will be forever upset about that. And then you have Cody lose to Roman. So it's like double. For me, it was such insult to injury because I'm such a big Judgment Day Finn Balor fan. And he lost. And then I was like, okay, at least I get to see Roman lose finally. Because I've been watching wrestling for 2 years. And Roman has been champion that entire time. So I was like, okay, at least I was so confident Roman was going to lose. Another moment where like, oh, Roman's totally done for. And he fucking retained. And I was like, okay, well, my night's fucking ruined.
I can't remember your prediction for that.
I thought Cody was going to win.
I think I said Roman. Because I said I didn't want him to win, but I think he was gonna.
Sounds right. But yeah,
I thought he was gonna.
That night for me was just like loss after loss after loss after loss. And I don't think, like, the Gunther one, justified. The Roman one, justified. The Bianca one, I don't give a shit. Why did Finn lose? Why did Finn... I am just pissed about that. Especially because, like, it was such a good match. You have fucking Edge coming out to Slayer. It's like wrestling. It's like 101 how to ruin a match in 2 seconds. Have the wrong guy lose. Because now I can't rewatch that match because it has a terrible ending. I think it's a fucking C tier. I generally... Above this, but I do not. I can't rewatch anything from that day. I've
Really?
rewatched so many. Rewatched the Kevin Sammy match. I rewatched the Charlotte Rhea match like 4 or 5 times. I really like it.
I've rewatched it 3, I think.
I think I've rewatched the Seth and Logan match once. Because I think did we rewatch it together? I think
I
we did.
think, and then I showed it to Flavia.
Yeah,
So I've seen it a couple times.
and I think I've rewatched like bits of Austin Theory versus John Cena just to like lament over John Cena getting old. But like night one was genuinely so much
So
better.
much
And this is
better.
always every year night one is better. Night year from WrestleMania 38, the main event, you have Kevin Owens versus fucking Stone
Stone
Cold
Cold,
Steve
right?
Austin. Yeah, that match is also really also it's fun. This puts Kevin Owens like this is a weird thing. Not many people have main evented 2 WrestleManias in a row. I think the list. Hold on, let's look this up.
It's like Roman, right? Roman's had a
It's
bunch.
Roman, Hulk Hogan. I forget who. Maybe Brock is in there.
Probably. I mean, Brock's kind of done everything at this point. They kind of keep throwing him in.
9 wrestlers who've competed in consecutive WrestleManias. Let's see. Get out of here. Yokozuna, Stone Cold, Triple H, Rock, Randy Savage, Bret Hart, Roman Reigns, Hulk Hogan, John Cena. Add Kevin Owens to that list, which is bizarre because you have all these legends, all these
Like,
record
yeah.
breakers on here. Like I think Yokozuna is also a little bit of a weird one, but he was like the biggest heel in like the 80s and 90s, so that's like kind of justified. But like you have all these all timers, and then Kevin Owens, who's like a completely random fucking pick in my opinion. Like I'll be like Roman Reigns is like the one of the only modern people to do it. But then the fact that Kevin Owens is just there, and I love Kevin Owens. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. But like, and also he hasn't main evented for a world title. He's main evented versus Stone Cold and for the tag titles, which is just like it feels random, you know. But more power to Kevin, I guess. You know. All right, are we done with WrestleMania Night 2?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, we can move on to another one of my favorites, Backlash.
Backlash was very good. I enjoyed
Backlash
Backlash.
was awesome. Was awesome. That Bad Bunny match. I've rewatched that match a bunch of times
That Bad Bunny, I mean,
too.
he is just so cool these days.
Yeah, I listen. I don't listen to his music, but he seems like a cool guy. I fucking he likes Pokemon. He likes wrestling. I like Pokemon. I like wrestling. I'm not here to take away anything from Bad Bunny. Not to mention what the dude performed at 3 concerts 3 weeks in a row, and then wrestled a pay-per-view match. Before
In
we
his
get it,
hometown that he was also hosting.
true.
He wasn't just there,
You
right?
can
Wasn't he hosting?
Yeah, you can pile on like the accolades to Bad Bunny. Once again, pushing the like celebrity wrestling status even further. Where like these celebrity wrestlers, like Bad Bunny is now a trained wrestler who can put on a really good match. Logan Paul is now a contracted wrestler. Even you go back to that fucking the Sami Zayn and what's his name? The guy from Jackass. Johnny blah, 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 Johnny Knoxville. Like that match is pretty good too. These celebrity wrestling matches have been pretty good in the recent years, you know. Anyway, before we get, I want to talk about this. I just want to say one thing that I think is stupid about it that they try to do again. So for Backlash, they advertised a triple what? A triple main was it a triple main event or a double main event? Do you remember what it was,
It was
Katie?
double main
Double
event.
main event. You can't. There's no such thing as a double main event. There's one main event because the whole thing was
Because they wanted Cody and Brock to have main event
they
as
wanted
well.
Cody Brock
But
to have the
I
main
mean,
event,
come on.
and then they were also like, "Oh, Damian Priest Bad Bunny is the double main event." You can't. There's no that does not exist. I'm sorry, I
Especially
hate to break it.
considering, I don't know. I mean, I feel like they were both very good matches.
Yeah, but the Bad Bunny one should
But yeah,
because it was
just give the main event to Bad Bunny.
yeah.
Brock and Cody don't need another main event to
They
like
have
up their
three. They
status.
have
Yeah.
three. They don't need another one. But aside from that, like that was something that annoyed me, but did not sour it at all. Like leading up to the match, I was like, "What the fuck is a double main event?" It's just nonsense. Anyway, That what opens? It's Roman and Solo versus Sammy and Kevin, right? That's the first match.
Yeah.
That's a banger. That's a Sheamus
It's a
analysis
it's a
banger.
banger.
I love that this Sheamus analysis meme. Yeah, that's a banger. Nothing else to be said about that. Great open. A great like start to Sammy and Kevin's tag title run. Their first pay per view defense. They beat Roman. Wonderful. Sammy gets that like sweet redemption.
Hmm.
Um, then you have Zelina Vega. Poor Zelina Vega
Oh my god, she got
versus
ripped to
Rhea
shreds.
Ripley.
She was crying before the
Listen,
match
I
started.
I like Zelina Vega. She's from New York City. I gotta support, but oh my god, she got her fucking
She
she was
got
ripped limb from limb.
oh yeah. She wasn't ready.
And she had a really cool entrance with the flag and the hometown, whatever, and she just got
The crying,
destroyed.
and you go, "She knows what's
Yeah.
coming, man."
Rhea
She
Ripley,
knows she's about to be, like, double rip-tided from the
yeah.
top rope and just be just shredded.
Like it was a good match, but damn, I felt bad watching it because like
You got this
uh
skinny bitch going up against the
yeah,
monster
like
truck
this
that
like
is Rhea Ripley.
she's like 4'5" and Rhea Ripley's like 6 foot. It's not even fair.
Rhea Ripley's my height.
I don't know. Well, standing next to Selena Vega, she looks like a monster, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just like completely one sided, but it was still good. Um, I think after that was the Bad Bunny match, right?
I think.
Oh no. Wait, was there did Bianca have a match?
It was it was not Bianca, it was, Ray.
What?
Wasn't there a Ray Dominic match with
No.
Carlito?
Oh, we forgot about the Ray Dominic match for night one of WrestleMania. That's the match we're missing.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was also really fun. Well,
But
retroactively adding to this, yeah, Ray vs Dominic for night one WrestleMania was awesome. Anyway, we're on Backlash now. Um,
with Carlito, wasn't that
no,
Backlash?
that was um Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest. The LWO came out.
Oh.
I think that was that next. I feel like there was something in between that I'm just forgetting about. Oh well, if I forget about it, forget about it. But yeah, Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest. Um, was pretty freaking awesome. Once again, I'm gonna say this: Damian Priest is so good, and I've always liked him. He's getting the push he deserves finally, and you can tell. You can go like through the pay per views and like see him grow. You know, because what he where does he even come into play? Like Royal Rumble,
Um,
he like or I don't even know. But Clash of the Castle because it's him and Finn versus Edge and Ray. And like you get the sense of like, oh, this guy's pretty good. And then he runs wild in the Royal Rumble. And like, okay, he's hanging in there with Drew and Sheamus and Gunther. And then you get Elimination Chamber where he's wrecking everyone in the match. And then you get he's not a mania. And you get a Backlash where he definitely had the best match of the night. But like character he displayed, this is where he showed that he's not just a big guy with awesome moves. He's a villain. He's a fucking villain. Because when he slams that, this is like the best part of the match for me. Because the match was fine in the beginning. Do you remember how they opened the match?
Bad Bunny came out with a shopping cart full
Well,
of things.
yeah, and then like they have like it's pretty tame, and Damien goes for the pin, and he lifts up Bad Bunny's shoulders to break his own pin.
I do remember that
Dude,
because it ended kind of fast, and then you go, "Oh shit, he's just
yeah,
gonna play with him now."
I
You
was
know?
like, maybe they're gonna end this early because like I don't know, they want to because Bad Bunny doesn't want to get injured or something. And then Damien Priest lift up his shoulder. I was like, I gasped. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it was extra.
I
It
was like,
was
oh, because that's when I knew like, okay, this match is gonna slap. If Damien
yeah.
Priest just pulled out like, that's like the ultimate
If
heel
Damian
turn.
Priest said, "We're not done yet.
Yeah,
I'm
like
not done with you."
he
What made you think we were done?
just that alone was set in stone. Like,
And
okay,
just the dead look on his face too.
yeah,
Like oh, it was it was
he
it
was
was good.
acting like just acting so well, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever like watched on live TV or live pay-per-view a more fucking villainous act than that. I've seen
How
Dominic turn on
devious.
Ray. I've seen Finn turn on Edge. I've seen random shit. But him lifting up the shoulder and giving that fucking look to the camera was just so like was just so perfect. I think it's not said enough how awesome that was. And then the match from there was completely off the
It
rails.
was a different match
Yeah, it really
entirely.
that was like the turning point. Damian Priest was like, no, now I'm going to kill this guy. And he was he was knocking him. Oh, what? He went through the Spanish announcers table. He went through he jumped off this pile of boxes, through a fucking table. He's choke slammed. He beat him with sticks. He beat him with trash cans. And
Dicks.
then the LWO rushes out to assist Bad Bunny, and then the Judgment Day comes out and they're brawling, and the fucking Carlito music hits. And you remember, Katie, I lost my
Yeah.
I love Carlito. I really love Carlito. His music hit. I just did not comprehend what was going on. It was so awesome. Because, like, the fact that the LWO was evenly matched with the Judgment Day until fucking Carlito showed up, he was the turning point, was so good. So
He shows
good.
up, starts spitting apples. He goes,
Yeah.
no.
He's so cool. He's so cool. I really hope he comes back to WWE. So fucking, he's so good. Yeah, that match was awesome. Like the two turning points where Damian Priest lifts up the shoulder and then Carlito comes out. It's like where the match now is in Bad Bunny's favor.
Yeah.
So good. Like these matches with many storytellings within them are the best. They're the best. And then you have the second main event or the first main event, I don't know, which is Brock versus Cody, which totally was overshadowed by the Damian Priest match.
Oh yeah. It
But
was a great match. But I
good.
mean, come on. It's the Bad Bunny one was just a crossover episode. Like it wasn't even like
That's exactly what it was.
and you can never beat a crossover episode. Those are
Nah.
the best ones.
Yeah. But the fact that Brock got busted open like that
You were like convinced that it was staged. But you
was
can't
I?
stage that.
Was
Yeah,
I
you were like,
convinced?
no. They had to be staged. I'm like, you can't anticipate
Oh yeah,
bleeding like that.
because I don't think I think
It
he meant
showed his
to bleed a
face.
little bit,
I don't know.
but
You
because
can't
Cody
anticipate that you'll even bleed.
he ripped off the turnbuckle, so I was like,
Yeah,
why
but that's not a
wasn't
guarantee.
I
You
don't
hit
know,
your head on a piece of steel.
but
Brock Lesnar's head is as hard as steel. It's not just gonna pop, but then it just exploded.
yeah, regardless of staged or not, it was like pretty surreal seeing Cody standing there covered in
Covered
fucking
in
Brock
Brock
Lesnar's blood.
Lesnar's blood.
It was pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
S tier. It's got to be an S tier. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
that's
I
just.
mean, yeah.
I think this is like the one. I'm gonna look up the Backlash card
It was a pretty broken card.
because like, was there anything? Was that everything, or are we forgetting something? Because genuinely, if there was no bad matches, oh,
There
this was the
wasn't
Bianca
none.
Belair match. I was right. Oh, and there was a United States defense there too.
And
Omos.
Seth and Omos?
Gee, wait a minute. There's a lot of
I
things I
forgot
forgot
about
about.
that one.
Okay,
I forgot about
this
that.
match was actually pretty funny now that I'm remembering it.
Did you think why are you putting Seth versus Omos?
Yeah.
They
That
have
match
no
was
reason
funny.
to be fighting. Other than I guess if he wanted the title, but
No,
like
he didn't have the title yet. It was before Seth got his new title.
oh shit, yeah. What were they even they were doing side quests.
Yeah, that was a random like Omos occurrence. I don't know. This shit was completely fucking random.
And that was the one we thought someone was going through the
Did we? No, I think that was Brock versus Omos where he said they were gonna break the ring.
oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and you know what? It was a triple main event. It was this. Bad Bunny
You
match.
think?
Then it was the because I remember it was a triple main event. Because I think you can maybe get away with saying something's a double main event, but when
I
you
thought it was a double main event.
hold on,
I think triple's just so dumb.
you're right, it was double. You're right.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I think I
regardless,
remember them saying
regardless, saying something's a double
triple.
main event just does not fucking make sense. There's one main
Yeah.
event, and it's the thing that goes at the end. Yeah, I forgot that. Damn, whatever. Still though, even though they're forgettable matches, the matches that were there were so good. Um, two left. Two left. We've been at this for a long time. Let me check the recording. We're an hour and 30 minutes into this, but
Jesus.
I'll listen to this. I watch all my own episodes when I travel, so I'll be watching this one day. Night of Champions.
I enjoyed
No,
it.
I enjoyed it. The Seth Rollins AJ match. It gave Seth the champion. You see, I don't know. I'm just not a big AJ Styles guy. He doesn't do it for me. A lot of
Yeah.
people fucking like go ape shit for AJ,
Yeah.
but I don't. I'm sure he was better in
Seth
TNA.
included. Wasn't he Seth's like inspiration?
Was he? I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the whole thing. Where like he grew up watching AJ and like wanting to fight like AJ, and like that's why it was like, oh, he knows all of your moves. How are you gonna beat him?
Maybe. I don't even know. You know more about Seth Rollins than I do. So
Yeah, I've got the Seth Rollins lore drop.
Night of Champions. What else happened? Roman and no. Oh yeah. Oh. Was this Roman and Solo versus? Hold on.
Mm, what do you mean?
What the hell? Hold on. When? Because what was the?
I don't remember what Roman did.
Not yet. I'm confusing myself. Oh my god! Please just bring back the Wikipedia page. Okay. Hold on. Oh yeah. This wasn't. This was not Roman and Solo versus Sammy and Kevin. It was the triple. It was the 6-man tag. That's what it was, and they lost. And then Night of Champions was Solo and Roman versus Sammy and KO, where they
Right,
also.
right.
That's what happened. Okay. I remember it now. That match was good. Bianca finally lost the fucking championship. Thank God to Asuka. Bless the Lord. Um, Seth won the new title, which was nice. That's all I remember.
Yeah,
I'd say B.
yeah.
All right.
Because not so much, not really forgettable, but not a standout.
No, yeah, it's a Saudi show. The Saudi Arabia shows are never. I feel like they're never usually like up to par. But this was still good for a Saudi show, you know. Now we're at a big one.
Oh yeah.
The most recent one. A lot of recency bias. I think is going to go on here, but
I
I
thought it
think
was very good.
I thought it was very good. Also,
I thought the Bailey being called out as a member of the Judgment Day was hilarious.
yeah, that was pretty funny. I wish they like made some more jokes out of that, but they
Yeah.
didn't. Whatever. The men's Money in the Bank match was stellar. Logan Paul,
Oh yeah.
Ricochet.
I genuinely thought, like, I knew it wouldn't be LA Knight, you know,
Yeah.
but man, that man was fighting his LA Knight pussy off. Like, he was carrying that whole match.
Dude, can we
It
talk
was
about
basically just him.
it was and the fact that he didn't
He's
win?
him.
See, I knew it was this was the one prediction I did call. Damian Priest. This is where
Yeah.
the uphill slope of Damian Priest. This is where it peaks.
Yeah.
Because my man, Damian Priest, my boy, my
Your little Damo.
yes, got Money in the Bank. He is Senor Money in the Bank, and I am so here for it. I'm just like the growth of Damian Priest is amazing. Now here's the thing. There's a lot of things I have to talk about Money Bank. I know you know, but you know how old Damian Priest is, right?
Yeah, he's like 40s.
He's 40. Damian Priest is 40. He does not look 40. But here's the thing. Finn Balor is 41. How old is LA Knight?
He's probably also 40. They're probably
He
all
is
40.
40. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got a series. I've got a bone to pick. If I ever find this person in real life, I'm gonna hold them by the shirt and go, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Whoever said
Why
LA
are you
Knight?
waiting until they're 40?
Yeah, no, not just that, not that. You can wait till they're 40. You can wait till they're 50. People, bro, Edge is 50. He's still got it. There are fucking Sting is 60 and is still going off ladders. Age is not a number in wrestling. But whoever
Well, yeah,
looked at
but they're
LA
not
Knight,
giving them a boost, you know?
no, whoever looked at LA Knight and said he's too old, but you have Finn Balor running around in the world title scene, Damian Priest in the world title scene, the same age as LA Knight, and LA Knight is after years because Damian Priest has been on the main roster winning titles. Finn Balor's been on the main roster winning titles. But it's taken this long for LA Knight to even get some recognition off the excuse that he's too old. But he's the same age as these guys. Insanity. Insanity. But finally, LA Knight's getting what he deserves. Ricochet's getting what he deserves. Damian Priest is getting what he deserves. Finn Balor's getting what he deserves. All these main guys that I love are getting these positive representation. Finally. Because you have the Ricochet versus Logan mini feud in the match itself, which was great. LA Knight was struggling to survive. Watching him scamper and almost get decapitated. You saw the spot where he almost got his head chopped off, right? It
Did
was
I?
it was okay. You know when Logan and Ricochet flip off and land on the table on the outside?
Yeah.
The ladder they were standing on falls within an inch of LA Knight's fucking neck.
Ugh.
Because I remember watching it and being more focused on LA Knight than the flip to the outside. And I was like, holy shit, he's going to die. He's going to get his head broken
Get
open.
this old man out of here. Get him to safety.
And LA Knight, literally, it was LA Knight's struggle for survival. Logan and Ricochet beating the hell out of each other. Shinsuke Nakamura was just playing the disruptor the entire time.
Yeah,
And then,
he was there.
And then Butch was there to strangle Logan Paul every 5 minutes, basically.
Yeah, he was just throttling him.
He was if it was a fighting game, he was Ricochet's assist. Every time Ricochet was taking a break, Butch would come in and tackle Logan Paul and then run away for another 5 minutes. And then you had Damian Priest once again running wild. I love Damian Priest when he runs wild. That's the best thing I can do, you know. But in the end, Damian Priest winning, in my opinion, was the right call. I know a lot of people are upset because, especially now that we're building to, I like to call it the blue, what's that? The Exodia. You know Exodia from Yu-Gi-Oh?
No.
It's it's 5 cards you put together to make a giant card.
Okay.
So in wrestling factions, you have the Exodia where when the faction's at its peak, because the Bloodline Exodia was when Roman had 2 titles, the Usos had 4 titles, Sammy was there, Solo had a title. That's
Sammy was there.
You know what I mean, though.
Sammy, still happy.
Yeah, they had their fucking pet Sammy with them. But that's Megazord Bloodline. That's Exodia Bloodline. That's peak Bloodline. But now they're building to this Megazord fucking Judgment Day where Finn's gonna have the world title. Damian just won the North American title. Rhea has the women's title, and then Damian has the briefcase. Where they're all gonna be holding.
Damian. You said Damian instead of Dominic.
My bad. Dominic's has the North American title. Damian has the briefcase.
It's going to be funny if you watch this back, and every time I've corrected you on saying your name, it was just you saying it correctly. And I'm like,
we'll see.
You're supposed to say it right. And then, yeah. Anyway, I heard Damian.
Yeah.
It was
Damian
Dominic.
Winning that briefcase was the absolute right call. Absolute right call. Because now you have LA Knight going in the U.S. title, which is also the right call. It's great. Great. And then you have Ricochet versus Logan Paul. There's so many good things to come out of this match. Really. It's once again a match with these little stories sprinkled within it. Perfect. What else happens at Money in the Bank? We'll get to the ending. The ending's massive.
Io Sky won.
Io Sky winning. Yes, another right call. Io Sky needs that briefcase. I think that's the right call. I think she should hold it for a real long time.
Because what did they say? She's the first woman to not use it on the first night. Yeah.
She's the second woman to hold the briefcase for more than 48 hours. Because every other woman besides Carmella has cashed in the night of or the night after. And Io Sky is the first one the second one not to do that after Carmella. But the thing is, Carmella also only held it for like a month or two. So I think Io Sky should, honestly, fuck it. Io Sky should be the first woman to cash in at Mania. I think that'd be really cool. Because Io Sky is really awesome. And she's super underrated.
Yeah.
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 She can, like, I'd love for Damian. Like, the thing, like, I feel like the longer you hold the briefcase, the more tension it builds.
Yeah, because, will he, won't he? Yeah. It's that kind of moment.
And the game plan right now should be Finn wins the title from Seth, and then Damian should not cash in on Finn. I think people saying, oh, Damian's going to cash in on Finn when he wins the title is not a good idea. Because that would break up the bloodline. And not the bloodline, the Judgment Day. And if they ever break up, I think I will break up. I think my body will deteriorate. I love the Judgment Day so much.
He will wither away.
Yeah, I'll go with them, but they should never break up. They really shouldn't. And they're like they are now, now that the bloodline has fallen. Bloodline is essentially no more. You can't say there's a bloodline because there are only 2 people in there, so it's not a faction; it's a tag team.
It's a tag team.
No,
it's a tag team with Paul Heyman.
Yeah, like for me, what makes up 3 is a faction. 3 people is a faction. 2 is a tag team. You can have a tag team with the manager. That's still not a faction. You're not the bloodline anymore. You're a fucking tag team. That's it. The biggest faction in WWE right now is the Judgment Day, and they need to carry for at least another 2 years.
You think that's a long time?
Bro,
how long do factions usually last? I mean, I guess the Bloodlines lasted.
Think about it. The Bloodline lasted forever. The Bloodline's been around for 4 years at this point. So
I guess I don't really know that many factions. How long did the New Day last?
The New Day's been around forever. The New Day's been around. But here's the thing: there are some tag teams that also they come in and out. Like the Shield. The Shield was here for a year or two, and then they stopped, and then they were the Shield again for a little while. Same with DX. They were DX for years. For 2-3 years in the beginning, and they stopped, and then they were DX and they came back. So I think that's what happens with Judgment Day. That they, give them 2-3 years as being a solid, dominant faction. Let them not be a faction. Then you can bring them back in a couple years, have them join forces again. But obviously it's so fucking far, who will know? But I do think they have to be one of those factions where they stay for at least a couple of years.
Yeah.
And think about this too. How cool would it be to at one point see them, because they're all heels right now, but is it possible to even have them all turn face?
I feel with Dominic, no.
The thing is,
because he's such a hated character.
But that's the thing with during the existence of the Bloodline, they were healed and they were faced and they were healed and they flip flop so much. I think they have so much left in them as a group.
Yeah.
They're in their era where they're going to be like the Megazord. Fucking Exodia.
They're in their Megazord era.
Where they're all going to be holding something. They're all going to have a title. They're all going to do this. And, after that, who knows what's next? Maybe they all do turn babyface somehow. Maybe Dominic gets kicked out and they, they have, I do think they genuinely have a lot of good story left in them. That's why I think, everything they do right now is great. We're not even talking about the Money in the Bank anymore.
No, we're just talking about.
Let's wrap this up. There was Seth and Finn, which Finn lost because Damian Priest accidentally distracted him, which was fine because it built the tension. And they got over it, and now it's building to the Megazord
We're-
Judgment.
They got over it. They're fine. Everything's
fine.
fine. Nobody's breaking up.
Yeah. And then you have once again, like the finale, I'd say, to the bloodline. Like the final nail in the coffin, which was
Yeah.
Jay pinning
Roman
Roman.
getting pinned for
Because
the
like
first
Roman
time
has been on
in
a losing
forever.
streak, right? He's lost his tag matches, he's lost to this, he's lost to that.
Yeah.
But he
was never
hasn't
pinned.
been pinned. So
Yeah.
Jay was being the first person to pin Roman over 3.5 years, and was just awesome. It's just awesome because now we like
And
there's
wasn't Jay
finally
the first person to ever pin Roman?
yes, that too. The story, like the storytelling there, for like the
Yeah.
insane long-term storytelling, where Jay is like has always had his number. Great stuff. I think it goes S tier.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's revise this. There's a lot in B tier I want to take out. I think Survivor Series deserves an A. I think this deserves an A. I think this deserves an A.
You're just putting them back where they were.
Yeah. Because the thing is, like, I feel like this show was too good. Like these were all really good.
Yeah.
I think this is it.
I think it looks good.
I think it looks good. Yeah, the Triple H
Yeah.
pay-per-view lineup is pretty damn solid. I'm very excited for what the future has in store. I'm probably pretty set in stone for going to Mania 40. For anyone that does watch this, or for my future self, I'm reminding you, you're going to WrestleMania 40. So I'm very, very excited for that. I'm hoping New York has not had a pay-per-view in over 2 years now. So I'm really, really hoping we get lucky and get the Royal Rumble. 'Cause that's like the first pay-per-view that hasn't been announced yet. Where everything until the Royal Rumble has been announced. So I'm really crossing my fingers that they bring the Royal Rumble to New York City. Although I don't think it'll happen because they want stadium shows.
Where would they put it?
They can. I
Isn't
mean, they can
Madison
go.
Square Garden kind of small?
I was gonna say they can go MetLife Stadium. They can go Yankee Stadium. They can go Citi Field. Those are their three like stadiums they can go with here. Although I don't think they do Yankee Stadium because that's like super expensive. Because it's if anything, I think Citi Field is like their best bet. I know AEW goes to Citi Field here and there for their stadium shows. So if anything, they go to Citi Field and over in Queens. Which so that's my hope for the future. I know I'm definitely because I seem to kind of go to like one pay-per-view every year ish that's in the area. Because last year I went to. Actually, I didn't go to one in 2022, but I went to one in the beginning of 2023 and the end of 2021. So it was close enough where it felt like it was a year. So I went to Survivor Series 2021, Elimination Chamber 2023, and it'd be nice if New York got one because it's been a really long time since Survivor Series 2021. So I sense it that New York will get one, even if it's not the Rumble. If it's like some random B tier, I'll still enjoy it. Pay-per-views are just fun to go to. I'm very lucky that Mania is in Philadelphia and I can commute there from New York City / school. But yeah, any input? Any last words, Katie?
I don't know.
Thank you for joining me today. It's good to
You
even if
betcha.
I talked a little too much. Sorry, but thanks for
You're good.
yeah. All right, that's it then. I'll close this out.